Hey guys, Beck here. I first want to apologise for not making many videos at the moment, but my big boy is having to be pushed everywhere in this pram now, in his doggy stroller, and I need both hands to push that stroller, so I cannot walk and film whilst looking after me old boy. He's still going, he's in good spirits. Say hello, my darling. Yeah, he's in good spirits, and that's what matters. So yeah, can't hardly walk, but he can still get up and go to the toilet and everything, so that's what we're just keeping our eye on that. And once he can't do that anymore, obviously I'm not going to let him suffer. So today's video is really important. It's really important for you guys to listen to this, okay? This has been a long time coming, this video, and I am just so excited I can make it. And I am so thankful that I can make this video. Now, us creators out here making videos, just get something off the screen there. We're really only doing this for those who are out there looking for the information or who accidentally source our channel. Because out in the real world, people are not listening, and they haven't for the longest time since I've been doing this. You know, they think it's a joke when you talk about God and his son, and especially if they've known you in your pre-awakened world. They'll just, you don't hold any credibility with them because of your pre-awakened state, whatever your nature was before this happened. So don't feel bad about it. What you can do is what the rest of us have done. If people aren't listening to you in real life, we only have a very short window of opportunity left. Maybe just start a channel like this, hey? Just, we cannot have enough people out here speaking. Don't ever think that the world cannot use you, okay? We need all different voices. We need all different personalities to reach people. Some people would have clicked on my videos and probably do not like the way I deliver them at all, and so they never come back. But that's fine, because I'm not there for them. Some people I have had on my channel since the day it started. Some subscribers have stayed with me the whole way, and I thank you. You guys know who you are. And each and every one of you is important in this mission, in this kingdom. Now for the important message. On the 13th of January, 2018, it was my granddaughter's first birthday party. And nothing had been amiss. Nothing. Everything was fine. Everything was dandy. No trouble. I get to the birthday party. We started setting it up. Next minute, I'm behind a tree, vomiting. Not a good look for my first grandchild's first birthday, huh? 10 o'clock in the morning, anybody that knew me knew I wasn't drinking. No. And there was some questions asked, what's happening with her? Is she all right? Don't know. I don't know what's happening. But what did happen was I was struck with a pain in my leg. At that point, it was in my leg. And it was that intense that the pain was like a 9 out of 10, and that's why I was vomiting behind the tree. Okay? Please bear with me. This is a very important message. It is a testimony to the power of faith and the power of healing. Now, I started this journey, like I said, it was about 6 months after that happened, because I was knocked off my feet. I could not walk for 5 months. So no, it was in that time. In that 5 months, I learnt all the groundwork I needed for this journey, which this channel's been based on. So in that 5 months, I went from being a normie, let's say, a person that just wasn't awakened. I knew who Jesus and God was, I used to be a Christian, but I'd fallen away. And I never ever denied, but when you're not living it, you're denying it, okay? So it took me 5 months, and after I had obviously gained enough knowledge, as quickly as my pain in my leg, and it was nerve pain, guys, there was nothing wrong with me. It wasn't an old injury, nothing. It was a nerve that just went spastic, no explanation why, lasted for 5 full months. I was lounge ridden. I am not one to ever stay in my bed, no matter how sick I am. So I would get up and go down to the lounge, and my house was a bustling hive of activity back in those days. And so I had no, lack of entertainment around me. For 5 months, I stayed on that lounge. And after the first couple of weeks, my daughter gave me a tablet. She bought me a tablet. And that, my friends, is when everything changed. I went down the rabbit hole. I went down billions of rabbit holes. But really it is just one, isn't it, at the end of the day? Now, fast forward to, I was miraculously healed 5 months. It took 5 months, okay, for me to gain that knowledge. I think the Father said, okay, you know enough, I'm letting you go. So I got up and I was fine. Then, about 2 years ago, so I only had a couple of years relief. About 2 years ago, I developed the same problem, the same nerve, I could tell, but it was in my hip. It had moved. Now, guys, I truly believe this was a demonic attack now. Okay, this wasn't just my body. This was an actual demonic attack. Or, now you can look at it two ways though. I could be wrong. Because, or the Father did use it in the first place. Like Paul had a thorn in his side. Well, I certainly had a thorn in my side. And being an archer, I was wounded in the hip, in the leg. Because I don't believe in star signs, guys, you know that, but the astrology is real. We know astrology is real. It's not witchcraft. We were told to stay away from it, yes, but not because of divination. But I was born under the sign of the archer, and I've always had extremely muscular legs for a girl, and my daughter's the same. We have very strong legs. So obviously I was hit in the hip. How do you wound the archer? In the hind leg. Okay, so that's what happened. Now, 2 years ago, this all come back, but in a different place. But this time it wasn't constant. The pain in that 5 months was so terrible, I wanted to die. It was so terrible, I wondered how I could kill myself. I did. And so this time the pain was spasmodic, on and off and on and off. But it stopped me doing so many things in my life. There were so many days I wanted to go rock climbing where I couldn't. I'd bought a brand new harness just before it restarted up. A brand new rock climbing harness. And every time I got to use it once. I think I had one good day. And then I have not been able to get back to doing that until I finish my message. So bear with me. So 2 years ago it flared up again. Different spot though, but I know it was the same thing because it was the exact same leg. It just had moved from a part of my leg, that nerve, and into my hip. I went and got physio. I did this, I did that. And nothing worked. Nothing. Now it's been about 3 weeks. I really wanted this to be solid, so I could deliver this information knowing that this is real. This is not my mind. This is not wishful thinking. This is a true testimony to the power of prayer. So my husband's been having some arm issues, some really strange things going on with his arm. Don't know why. There's no reason. It's like he's pulling a muscle or he's got a nerve, something. They can't find anything. They've done some ultrasound and x-ray and blah, blah, blah. Can't find a thing wrong with his arm. Anyway, 3 weeks ago I said, listen, let's pray for each other. This is ridiculous. You know, this is where we need to work together and we'll pray for each other. So we sat down and we prayed. And he prayed for me. I prayed for me. I prayed for him. He prayed for him. Unfortunately, I can't report for him because he's still having trouble. But I can report that I've been healed. I've honestly, guys, been healed. My leg is at 99%. I can still feel where there's obviously been some damage, like, maybe a little bit of nerve damage from it being haywire for so long. But I have no pain, none at all. So please let this be a testimony to the power of the Most High. It wasn't even a special prayer, guys. It was nothing like special. We just prayed together that please heal us. I was more concerned about him than me because I've had my pain for so long now, on and off. Like I said this last time, it's on and off. That's why I can cope with it, because it's not continual like it was for 5 straight months. So it's gone. I am a living, breathing testimony to the power of healing of the Holy Spirit. And I am ready to tell everybody. I just wanted to be sure, to be sure, to be sure. And I'm sure. And I was told today was the day to tell you guys. I don't do much good in my life. But if I can just pass on messages to you guys, it's better than nothing, isn't it? And I know a lot of us that are here on this walk, we're older. A lot of you don't have family. A lot of you don't have grandkids. I have all of the above. And sometimes it makes it harder, not easier. So fret not, you who are alone. Be assured of this, you're not alone. He's with you. He is with you. If he would heal me, I'm like the female Richie from Boston, you know, like I'm just nobody. I'm somebody. I'm Father's creation, but I never thought of myself as good. I always thought I was a rebel. I thought I was a bit of a ratbag. I liked being a rebel ratbag. I liked going against the flow. I liked non-conforming. If the kids at school liked a certain thing, I always liked the other thing. But see, I was more of a leader. I wasn't a follower. I did not want to follow them. I wanted to make my own decisions and my own choices. And now I see how important that has become in this journey, that because God picked those who would listen and who would not just fob him off and think that things were all a conspiracy, like the shape of the earth. He wanted people that would be willing to listen. And do you know who he had to pick for that? The outcasts. Yes, my friend, you're probably an outcast of society, but don't let that upset you. That's awesome. Because look at what it says in the greatest book of all. Jesus come for the sick. He didn't come for those who didn't need a doctor. He came for those who needed a doctor. And then when you have been sick for so long or injured for so long, you are so thankful when you do receive even the littlest bit. of relief, that you really start taking things seriously. I've always taken this seriously though, since my very first video. That is not to say that I have not mucked up. That is not to say I've been perfect. Oh man. You know, and talk about not knowing how to control my anger back in the day where the earth's flat and you won't listen to me. What's wrong with you all? You know, I think we all go through this amazing bit at the beginning where we're so passionate and so alive. We want to tell everybody and we blow it. We do silly things. We get passionate and even we love them and we're trying to tell them, and because they won't listen, our passion turns to anger. And so it is so freeing when all that's over. If I'm speaking to any of you who are still going through that, oh, believe me, it happens sometimes, but only with those closest to you. They are the only ones that can trip you. Whereas in the beginning of it, it wouldn't matter who it was. If you were trying to tell them and they scoffed at you, it was just like, oh my gosh, the whole world's against me here. What have I done? Oh, this is such a hassle believing in this stuff. And then you start thinking, oh, you know, I should just go back to being like them. At least they won't pick on me, or they won't laugh at me, or they won't do this. But it's not like that, my friends. You've been called for a reason. You are separate. You are different. You have something in your spirit that neither you nor I can actually physically see, but it's there. And the Father chooses those who will listen. Like, He's chosen everybody. Do you know what I mean? Like, God's hand is, what, is it too short that it can't save everybody? Of course not. He could save every single human being who ever lived. But is He going to do that? No. Why is He not going to do that? Because they don't believe. They choose not to want to believe He is real, or they choose to hate Him. So, my friends, if you are struggling, wondering if you are saved, would you be even listening to this if you wasn't? Would you be spending your time searching out videos that you're actually going to get some encouragement and some food for your soul? I can't watch anything that is just dead and empty. I used to love comedy. It's just dead and empty to me now. So if you're really struggling with your salvation, wondering, am I saved? The accuser of the brethren is going harder than ever. He will be cast down any second, if not he has in the last week. But when he stops accusing us up there, we know we're in trouble. We know he's here. And when he's here, the accusations, they're not going to be accusations. I believe they'll be actual full demonic attacks where it's actually, they're gonna get you. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, they're gonna try to get you. So be very, very mindful of that. But if you're searching, what does He say? If you search with me with your whole heart and your whole soul, you will find me. You will find Him. And this, you can lose your salvation. Well, actually, you can. Once saved, always saved is a very slippery slope, my friends. And these are cans of worms that I open up every now and then, that people that have been with me for a while, who are my friends, who still are not, though they're not on the same page, because I believe of fear. Because of fear, they're not on the same page. Same as the rapture. At the last trump, there are 7 trumps, and at the last trump, He said, the angels would be sent out to gather His elect. It doesn't say believers either, does it? It says His elect. Think about it. Has anybody really brought that one up? elect. Who are the elect? We know that not everybody who says Lord, Lord will be chosen. We know that. So if you think once saved, always saved, you can't lose your salvation, of course you can. You can deny God. You can say, oh, well, yesterday I believed it, but today I don't. That's all you've got to do. Let alone, what, to go out and murder somebody or that. You would still be forgiven for that. But to literally, not if you did it and not repented, but if you were all going along good, happy life with Father, and then something happened and all of a sudden you went, nope, I cannot do this anymore. The Father doesn't love me. He wouldn't have done that to me. I wouldn't have lost that person. I wouldn't have lost my dog. I wouldn't have lost my house. He doesn't love me. He's done a Job on me, and I'm not Job. That's one way you can lose your salvation, friends. Yes, it is. It is, because you've denied him. But for you just to be worried, knowing that you're walking as best you can, even if you're stumbling, even if you're rolling along down a dark hill, but you're still going forward, you won't lose your salvation because you're working towards it every day, and you are confessing with your mouth, believing in your heart that God sent his only Son to die for you, to die for the world, to die for those who would believe. It is simple. It is so simple a child will understand it. And the world is becoming so dark that the brighter we become, there's only two things that will happen as well. And the two things are that they will come to the light and they will seek your light, or they will endeavour to snuff your light out. Only two things. So we are coming into a time that has never been seen before. Not for you and me. This may have been seen somewhere in past history in another reset, but it hasn't been seen in yours and mine time. And that is, the world's going to get so dark. You will have to keep your light shining. Otherwise, you will go dark with it. Now, to keep your light shining, there's really only one thing you need to do. Two is good, but two is not always possible. So the one thing we have to do is stay in relationship, prayer, communication with our Father. To honour what Jesus did for us. To honour the gift that the Father sent for us. We have to do it. And that will seal your salvation anyway. And then you will have no fear. And you will get bolder. And you will do greater exploits, greater works. You will take on greater risks in your life. You will put yourself in positions you wouldn't usually put yourself in, because you won't have that fear holding you back. I was challenged once. I was not walking with the Father, but I had been a Christian. No, I had not at this stage. No, I had not found the Father. This was way before my first conversion, guys. I'm sorry. But I had a very good friend who was like a father to me. He was Australia's most famous stuntman. And he died, and he had a massive, massive funeral. And then his wake was at Movie World on the Gold Coast, because he was a stuntman for Movie World. He was a stunt director for Movie World in his later days. And he was like my father. And there were all these Hell's Angels there because he did the movie Stone. If you've never seen the movie Stone, right at the beginning there's a motorcycle jump off a cliff at Maruba Rocks in Sydney, and that is my dear Peter flinging himself off an 80-foot cliff. So Peter died. I went to his funeral. I left Mackay, came down, and I realised how much guts I had. Like, I've sung in bands, I've done this and that. Yeah, sure. But, like I said, the room was full of movie producers, movie stars, yes, Australian film stars, all sorts of people. Sandy Harbert was there. My gosh, Sandy Harbert was there. I spoke with Sandy Harbert. I had heard about Sandy the whole time I'd known Peter, and I finally got to meet him at his funeral. Anyway, sorry, cut a long story short, I got up and gave a eulogy because nobody knew Peter like I knew Peter in that room. Nobody. His ex-wife did, but she wasn't going to go to his funeral. So I got up in front of all those people and gave a eulogy. And it just showed me that, you know, when you've really got something to say, you will get up and do it. You will conquer your fear. Fear is just a stupid thing because you're thinking, what are they going to think of me? What is the, me? It's all about, you know, it becomes very selfish because you're worried about what are they going to think of me. You're not even worried about how the people are going to receive what you're going to say. And that's the most important thing, is how they receive what you say, how you present it, and how it comes out of your mouth. So the fear can often make that muddy, and then you stumble your words. Well, I got up there and I did a champion of a job. I gave an amazing eulogy, and nobody will forget that one, put it that way. So fear is our greatest foe at this stage. We need to be as bold as a lion. We do. Lion of the tribe of Judah. He was a lion. He was not a pussycat. He did not sit and want to be patted and purr at your feet. And he's coming with a sword this time, and that's why the world is ugly and bloody and dark, because he's coming with a sword. And the world came with a sword too, didn't it? And it got maybe half of the population with that sword. But you, my friends, you rejected it. If you so did, you rejected it. You won that race. But there is another race. That's not the finish. We know that's not the finish. And this is why pre-trib rapture is so beautiful. Because you get out of here. You don't have to go through anything. You're going to be zoomed away, and then you're going to watch all your other brothers and sisters suffer. Because they're still your brothers and sisters, either way. I'm sorry, it doesn't even say that. It's not going to happen like that. And I'm just really gently guiding people. I don't get upset about it, because why should I? I know what I read. I know how to read my Bible with my own eyes without man's sick interpretations and twisted ways that they will get this little bit and then mix it with that little bit, and oh no, it doesn't mean that. Now it means this. Oh, Exhibit 1, the rapture. So this is all said in love. This is never said to start arguments, as it never should be in this kingdom. I listened to Father when he called me. You need to listen sometimes to your brethren when they're saying you're in danger. And the reason that the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine is dangerous, look, to some people it might not. It might not be dangerous to them at all, because they'll give their lives either way. But it is a really good way to get out of any persecution. You know, if they come and take you, you're going to have to be willing to go through this. And so what? These people that, no, that won't happen, that won't happen. If you're not considering all options, you are not being wise, because that means you will buckle. And none of us want to imagine ourselves in a concentration camp or walking up to the guillotine. No, but we do it. We do it. We have to do it. It's part of the training. So, dear ones, do not take offense when I say that it is an easy way out. And it also, it sort of gives you a free ticket not to work so hard. Not that we need to work, do you know what I mean? But on yourself. Working on yourself. So I'll just float through. I'm waiting for the rapture. There's no use doing anything because I'm going to go. Now, that is a lot of people's ideas about this too. I've read the comments. Thousands of them saying, I cannot do this. I want out of here. Thank goodness we're leaving in a minute. I can't do it. I can't do it. That is self-cursing. I can't do it. I can't do it. Well, every day will get harder for you. Absolutely. You're going to struggle with an attitude like that. You're prophesying into your own life. You need to stop saying, I can't do this. You need to go, Father, we are going to run this race to the end with boldness and dignity. Let's get over the line with dignity as well. Not just dragged over the line or just, we're nearly dying and we just make it. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, you make it over the line either way. But hey, listen, don't you want to fly into that last, when they put the ribbon up and you just smash into it and you go, yes, I made it. You don't want to crawl over the finish line because you're only making it hard on yourself and on those around you. That's it. So do yourself a favor. Start reading the Bible for what it really says. Forget the Mandela effect. You should be this is not for new Christians. This is for those with discernment. So you should not have to be told what has been changed, that you will see it. For those who are new, you need to ask questions. You need to ask those who know, who have been around for a long time. Please don't be scared to ask questions. Because you need to read these things with your own eyes. And the pre-tribulation rapture is dangerous to some, as is why do I need to believe in flat earth? Now, I don't like flat earth. I call it enclosed system. Why is that important? Why? It's not important. Shape of the earth's not important to me. I don't care. Do you know what? It is very important because it's way more important than you could believe. And it's not just one reason. I'll give you one. Because people who believe that we live on a globe, that there is outer space out there, they're really going to start believing that these things coming in are aliens from a different planet, a different place in the solar system. And we don't live in a solar system. It's not solar. It is heliocentric, which means the sun is here. So, is that right? I might have made a mistake then. I'm thinking of Heliofont, wasn't I? Anyway, you know what I mean. The sun is in here with us. It is not out there flying around. So in that way, not believing in the shape of the biblical cosmology of the earth it's a slippery slope, especially when the Bible is a flat earth book. So I just wanted to give you a couple of things in this video because I haven't made a video for quite some time because, like I said, I've got to push bow and I need both hands. And I am going to endeavour to do some other stuff very shortly. But I just wanted to let you guys know about this healing because this is most important. What if it's all starting now? He's in the business of all the gifts coming and starting now for those who have waited. We've been flying by the seat of our pants for so long. I knew there was a time coming where we would be given supernatural help. Well, I'm telling you, I've been supernaturally healed. by the one who made my body, who knows it better than anyone. I've been healed. And this was my testimony. So please like, share, subscribe. There's way more of this, where this come from. Let's be hoping I'm reporting on a lot of healings, because that's what the world needs. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. So guys, please leave your comments. Let me know how you're all doing. Big shout out to all my long-time subscribers. I love you all. Thank you for hanging in with the Father and me. And we will get to meet one day. And we'll say, yes, Lord, we will ride with you. We will stand up and fight. We will ride with the armies of heaven. We'll be dressed in white. And we'll say, yes, yes, Lord, we will ride. This is Beck. Have a beautiful day wherever in the world you are. From Brisbane, Australia. It's about only 9:30 a.m. Take care. I'm out.